if it's working, it will select the right stream and we will go live. It looks like it's working now. I see
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Okay, now I think it's working.
Yes,
Can you see it?
I'm standing up because we are live. Look at that. Haha,
God,
beautiful.
technical
I hope
errors.
sound is there and everything. That would be amazing.
On my end, it looks like the sound is there, but let me just check on.
Good.
Let me check
Yeah,
my phone to see if it's.
we're double checking because we had a little rough start over here, but here we are.
Yeah,
Here
very
we
rough
are.
start.
Yeah, but it should work, right? Can you hear the? Can you hear us?
It looks like we're live.
Good, good, beautiful. If so, I want to say very much welcome. Welcome to that Beautiful Life podcast. My name is Roger Bergstrom, standing here in a room, apparently, in the beautiful south part of Stockholm in Sweden. And as always, talking to my pal, my friend over in Reading, the beautiful UK, and my dear friend, Kudus Campbell. How are you doing, Q?
Hi,
We've had a week.
you guys can see the top of my head, but I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
I'm still doing technical stuff. I'll explain my week in a sec, Raj. But yeah, I'm
Sure.
still fixing the technical stuff because the podcast didn't want to work before. For
It
my fix my headset.
was a
Um,
bit of a tough start, but we are here. That's what counts, you
yeah,
know.
that's it. We are here when it
Mm.
counts. We're standing again, cast.
Yeah, we are the standing podcast, the standing beautiful that beautiful life podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chin me. Um,
because we're sitting. Both of us are sitting long days, so it's good to
yeah.
stand a bit.
I really need to get that
Y-
standing desk though. I
Yeah, I
really,
mean,
really need to
yeah,
get that.
I'm thinking about the same, definitely.
Yeah, I think when I get paid this month, if I have any extra, because it's not that, like when I looked at the price, it's not that expensive. Like
No,
it's
exactly.
very,
We talked about that after the last stream
yeah,
regarding those kind of desks, so
yeah.
definitely possible. Yeah.
I am definitely looking at getting one of those. Yeah, and replacing this one here that I have. I think I'll probably
Mhm.
give this one to Xavi because his desk is damaged.
Aha, okay,
Um,
okay.
but he it's damaged because well he doesn't take care of his stuff. So I'm contemplating, do I actually give him the desk and he's just gonna break it like the last one, or
Nah.
do I do something else there? But I'm not, because I'm not gonna need it once I replace it. It's just gonna be here.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, here we are. So, what about, should we get into our stuff? What
Yeah.
we've
Let's
been
get it.
doing, my
Let's get
friend?
into it. Let's get into it.
Yeah. You can
So
start if you want to,
where
bro.
do we start? So I've started a new job. I working out of the town of what's it called again? Newbury. No, so
Newbury. Okay, that was the one. Yeah.
yeah, it's in the same borough as me, but it's
Mhm.
a different council, I guess, so a different
Yeah.
town. So not too far, about an hour cycle. I could cycle to Newbury if I wanted to. If I wanted to take a day and just cycle to the office, I could technically do it. Um,
How long
yeah,
does it take now, like from door to door? If you are syncing the travel, like you go with bike to the train station, right?
yeah. I take my bike to the train station. That takes me about, I don't know, like 10 minutes to get to the train station, maybe less. Maybe 7 or 8, and then from the train station, I'll probably get to Newbury in 20 minutes on the
Mm.
fast train. Slow train takes about 30 minutes, so it's relatively quick. On the fast train, I'm in Newbury like that, in and out. And yeah, and then from the train station to the office, it's
Mm.
about, I don't know, like 5 minutes.
Right.
So in the morning time, I get there quite early. I get there on time for work. So far, I've done what, about a week and half, I think, has it been?
Yeah.
I think I've done a week and a half. This is so last week I did about half of a week, and was it last week I did half of a week? I'm really thinking, like, have I done?
I think it was half week last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe
Or
so.
am I imagining
I'm
things?
thinking so because I think I did half of a week last week,
Yeah.
And then this week I've done the whole week. I've had no
Yeah.
off days this week. I've just been in the office every day like clockwork. I've forgotten how much a toll being in the office takes on me on a day-to-day basis because
Yeah.
like I come in, and in the past, like before I started this job, I was home most of the time, and so I could go and sit down and play eFootball or whatever have you, and so forth. But trying to do that now has been hard. I haven't even It's been so difficult. I haven't even had a chance to hop on the game and play anything. I've
Oh.
I've just gone to bed when I come in from work, more or
Yeah.
less. It's usually just I come in, I deal with the kids, I eat, and then before long I'm in bed. I'm
Yeah.
sleeping. So it's kind of what my life has become at this point in time. I'm sleeping a lot when I come in, and then I get up really early, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm up, getting ready for
Yeah.
work. So I mean,
Do you
I've got
start 8 or?
I start at 8. I start at 8. So I get
Yeah.
up at 6 and start getting ready to leave to get there at 8 in the morning.
Okay.
So yeah, it really takes a toll. It really does take a toll when it comes down to it. I mean, for me, as I say, like it's been a while since I've been in that sort of corporate working environment,
Of
and
course.
like I'm fine with it, but at the same time, I am at the same time a lot more tired than I was before. The
Yeah.
workload is not that much right now. I think the work that I'm doing right now is more busy work. It's more
Mm.
coming to terms with the systems that the company uses. Because
Yeah, okay.
it's early days to me, but at the
Mm.
same time also just taking on minor projects that they had that need doing at the early
Mm.
days, because at the end of the day more and more stuff will be I guess given to me, more responsibility would be given to me with time. But as I'm now starting, they're just giving me smaller tasks to just sort of build up um with time. So at the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's been good.
Mm.
My colleagues have been quite welcoming. I have to say so far, because you never know. You could go to a company in one week and the next
True.
week it could suck. So, so far my colleagues have been pretty welcoming. My
Good.
my manager is pretty cool. She has been
Mm-hmm.
pretty cool thus far. I think I had a weird experience with one of my colleagues this morning. I got off the train and I'm walking. I've got my all dressed up and everything, and I'm walking. La di da, got my earbuds in, listening to something. I think I was listening to a podcast or something, and this girl, this young lady is walking up. She's walking, because some people are coming up the train going one way and other people are going the other way. So she's going the opposite to me, and she's
Right.
walking towards me, and she's staring at me, and then she gives me this sort of
Ah.
like kind of smile,
Aha.
and I'm like, so weird. Like, okay then. So then
Aha.
I do the kind of like, okay, kind of smile. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
like the do I know you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I get to the office and I'm talking to one of my colleagues, and he's like, "Oh, what time do you get in?" I was like, "Oh, I get in for 8 in the morning." Blah blah blah. I'm telling him about the train ride and stuff. And then this one of my colleagues, she comes into the room, and we're talking about something, and she chimes into the conversation and stuff like that. We're talking about a few things, and like how far we're coming from, because I said, "Oh, I come from Reading," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I saw you on the platform today, from the train." I was like, "Really? When?" She was like, "I smiled at you." I was like, "Oh my god, she's the creepy person that
Aha.
smiled at me."
Mm.
I was like,
Look at that.
"Oh
Okay.
right." I was like, "You know what? Next time I'll remember you." I did not know who you were, she at all.
Ah. Ah.
Absolutely not. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's the company has there are a lot of faces and a lot of names that I'm having to learn.
Mm.
Obviously, new company. But yeah, I've been getting by pretty well. I think for me right now, how I'm prioritizing remembering names in my head is based on needs. So the people that I
Yeah.
need stuff from, or need information, or to ask for something, I remember their names.
Good.
So
Yeah. That's
um
smart. Mm.
so yeah, so that's working out really nicely for me, because I can remember their names. I can be like, oh, I need that person for this, I need this person for that, and so forth.
Yeah, yeah.
The rest of the staff, I'm like, I don't know who that is. So yeah, today was a solid day. Tomorrow's Friday. I can't wait. My manager and I renegotiated my work time because I was originally booked for starting at 8:30 and ending at 5. But I said to her, like, look, my train gets in like really, it gets in at least 30 minutes before like at 8, and there's no train that comes in.
Mm.
No, sorry, my train gets in at 7:40 something or 7:50. So
Okay. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
it
yeah.
makes no sense. Like, if I come in at 7:40 something, I'm in Newbury waiting like 30 minutes. Um, and so
Better to start 8, right? Yeah.
better to start it. So I had a word with her. She was like, yeah, like it's cool. And then so she shifted my work hours. So
Good. That
I
was
get in
good.
at
Yeah.
at 8 and I leave at 4:30. So it worked out
Yeah,
really
but
nicely
that's
for
good.
me.
Yeah.
And the downside is that the trains don't leave regularly in the afternoon. No, I shouldn't say like regularly, but
Oh,
they don't leave. Like I don't get a quick train back, get into the train station at after 4, after 4:30. I get to the train station, I'm struggling to find a train. I get to the platform and there's nothing there. Or if a
okay.
train pulls up, it's a slow train that takes 30 minutes. Which I don't
Aha.
mind to a certain extent in the afternoon time because it's not like I'm in a rush. I just sit on the
Mm.
train, I park my bike, and I take out my laptop. Like this afternoon, I took out my laptop and I prepared the show notes for the podcast. So that worked out pretty nicely.
Mm.
Um, yeah, solid week. The kids have been fine. I must say I do have, like, my living room has not been my living room for the week as well. I have a friend staying with
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Sean is
Came on
here.
Friday, or
He
when
came
was
in on
that?
Friday. He came in on
Yeah.
Friday. He's staying with the family until
Mm.
his he's doing a scholarship at the university.
Right. Yeah.
And because he's doing the scholarship, he's waiting for them to make the dorms available. I think he moves into the dorms on Sunday. So until then, his stuff is all in my living room, and he's sleeping on my sofa, couch surfing. And
Cool. Cool.
yes, that's kind of how it's been for the most part. You know, nothing to complain about, I think. But yeah, solid week. I'd say solid week so
Yeah.
far. I am just tired.
Yeah. And I understand that. I guess, I mean, it's a combination of, as you just said, you're going up early in the morning. It's going to be like same for 5 days in a row.
Hmm.
Even if you maybe nearby future also have a day at home working those hours. But still, I mean, that's a change. That's a change, and it will affect you. And of course, also, you're new at your job. You have to
Yeah.
pay attention, more concentration. Like when you've been working for some while and get the gist of it, then
You say more
that's going to be a bit
concentration, bro? I've
easier, you
been
know.
listening to lo-fi beats and stuff.
Yeah, look at that.
Concentration.
Ah. No, yeah, you know what I mean
Yeah, I
when
know.
it's
I
new.
know.
And as you said a new person. Oh, wait, what's the name of that girl? Let me see. Okay, yeah, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So I totally understand that. But it sounds, I get a feel though that you've had a like a good week, a good
Yeah.
like first full week at your job. So that sounds good. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm just
let's stick to
I'm
that. Mm.
looking forward to the pay.
Yeah, of course.
I've got a new desk to get, so new desk.
Yeah,
Put that in the works.
important, important.
Very
Yeah, yeah,
important. I've got a new desk to
mm.
get. I've got a few other things I want to sort out. So yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait for that first pay in the pocket.
I know the feel.
It's gonna be. I'm already aware of what day is payday, so I'm just counting down the minutes. Yeah, yeah. I've already booked in holiday time as well because before I started, they asked me if I had any holidays booked, and I did. So I just sort of informed them of those.
Okay. Mm.
So yeah,
Good.
and they're all approved and everything's all sorted, and so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, can't complain. Can't
But
complain at
that's
all.
good. No, that's good. Good to know. Then you can, that's done already. You don't have to think about it. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
just noticing something. You've got a Biomutant shirt. Where's mine?
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, it gets like a bit, it's old now. Years passes by. I've been washing it so many times. It's hardly anything thing to read.
I'm messaging Adam,
But
man. I'm
yeah.
gonna be like, yo. So like, I just remembered I don't have a Biomutant shirt. Like, you need to.
Yeah, right to Adam.
Yeah, I'm
Hello.
writing them. I'm writing them in the morning. I'm just be like, look, you know what?
Yeah,
Here's my address. Just have it
years
there.
has passed. Yeah,
I need a shirt.
yeah.
Oh man,
Sooner the better. Yeah,
sooner the better. That's it. That is it. The
yeah.
sooner the better. So,
True.
how's your week been? How have you? What have you been up to?
Yeah. Oh, it's partly new for me too, to be honest. I think I mentioned something last week. But I gotta spell it out more clearly this time around.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I have been contacting quite a few of these, like, how should we put it, exclusive, more higher tier, like music libraries, trailer houses.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, I got connected to two of them, which was, yeah, I didn't know what to expect, to be honest, but that's the thing. And I have now started to work towards them or with them. Uh, it has mostly been also a bit of introduction, reading things, how they want things, like files, how I should deliver them,
Mm-hmm.
contract, agreement, la di da, those kind of things. And also a bit of, start to learn the communication, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, because this part of the industry is quite new for me. I know on the paper more or less how it works, but I haven't been like there. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy also for my connection that I've told you about. This guy, his name is Matt. He lives in London. He's an English composer, and he's been in this now for a year. So I talked with him just a few hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is that, first off, I didn't really know what one of the libraries was expecting from me, because usually what happens when you get, how do you say, when you sign with one of these libraries, is either you do something called briefs,
Yeah.
and that is basically something that is sent out by the big companies like Warner Brothers and all these major companies
Mm-hmm.
when they want music for a new film and such. It could be a trailer, it could be actually music in the for the actual film.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know, though. I mean, it says like, let's say, family adventure, happy comic, blah blah blah, and then usually some examples. It can
Mm-hmm.
be links to YouTube with some former movies or in trailers, and you listen to the music and you get a feel of, aha, okay. So, and then you're expected to deliver something like that, and there's a deadline, of course. Sometimes it's a bit longer deadline, sometimes it's short. I was working towards a short one this week because I got in just recently with one of the libraries then. So, and what you have to do, I mean, what happens is that the library decides, is this working? Is this something that can represent us?
Mm-hmm.
If not, they might come back to you if there's still time before the deadline. Could you please look into this? It's nice, but can you fix this and maybe that? And work. Come back. Okay, now yes, approved, and then they send it along, and then you don't know. Maybe not. That's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
The other way is when these guys that are working in the film industry are getting onto the libraries or talking to the CEOs there and the connections there, supervisors, and we're about to do this new Superman movie or whatever have you, and yeah, oh, you can look at this. We have two new albums that might be of interest for you. You can check them out. And that simply means that they also produce albums, like full albums, maybe 12 tracks,
Mm-hmm.
in different styles, of course. And the other library, and this is nothing that I understood until I had signed, but it's a positive thing. They want me to do a full album.
Mm-hmm.
So I have already starting to work on that, and to be honest with you, I've been tired this week for many reasons. I've been working hard with this, and also a bit of stress because you it's new, and you know that, okay, now I have to deliver like here, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of things that comes to mind. But they have a interesting, what do you say, workflow, or the way they want you to think, because he
Mm-hmm.
said first, like, check out what's coming up the next couple of years, what kind of movies,
Mm-hmm.
see if it's something that you think could suit you, maybe genre that you like or whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
I immediately thought horror. It's gonna be horror. So let's see, it hasn't answered my mail yet, but I've already started to make something in that kind of
Kind of
area, if
genre,
you will.
kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna do the tracks. There's a complete system how you upload on different folders on Dropbox, and then they leave feedback, and hopefully, I really hope they will like it, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it's smaller things to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing, what I liked, is that they say that don't get stuck going back to the track and rework. Move on to the next one. Keep the notes. Move on to the next one, and the process continues.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have like 2.5 months to. It's not like a hard deadline, but it's a deadline. So yeah, I have to at least deliver a track every week, depending on, and also try to keep up with the briefs that I've gotten from the other company.
That's
I'm
good.
trying to learn the how do you say, because we're all humans, and as you say, it's a colleague now in a way, and it's also different persons. I can see already they are so different. These guys come from different countries. One is based in LA, so it's a
Mm-hmm.
time difference, of course, and the other one probably has office there, but I think he's in Estonia.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so it's like yeah, different people, different cultures, different way of saying things and communicating. So that's also something to have in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and how you yeah.
I
But
think that's
it's exciting though. It's exciting. It's
Mm-hmm.
exciting times, I gotta say. The only thing is, of course, I just wanted to say that for me, the way I've been working before this has
Mm-hmm.
been a bit different, of course. It's been royalty-free libraries, and I can take my time, and it's a bit easier to just upload and whatever have you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also been able to keep more or less full speed ahead also with YouTube. Not the case now. I see the analytics. I'm like down 40% of my income already, because that's how you get punished on YouTube when you don't do what you usually do. And
Yeah.
and but it's what it is. I mean, I have been. This is something, of course, I have to consider for the future, not only
Mm-hmm.
nearby future, but also for long term. Will I have the time,
Mm-hmm.
the energy to actually continue doing it?
Yeah.
Because if this is now starting to get more and more towards, I shouldn't say full time. I probably need maybe a third library for to get there. And again, this is important to say. There's no guarantee that you get a placement. I mean, even though if the only chance, which is similar to what I've done with the royalty-free libraries, is to make more music, get it
Mm-hmm.
out there, more music, maybe another album with another library, la 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 la, and hopefully. But of course, the thing, if it gets placed, it can actually give you good money,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's the fee for the actual music, but then also the rights for the music,
Mm-hmm.
and later on also maybe 1-2 years later, royalties,
Yeah.
because it's been played wherever it's been played. So so yeah, so that's a thing.
That's cool.
So yeah, that's been my week. It's been so much focus around this.
Yeah,
uh
it sounds amazing. I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy. I'm
yeah,
happy
thank
that
you.
you're able to one do something that you enjoy doing. You know, working on the music and all that kind of stuff is great. And you know, you're working with new people
Yeah,
and yeah, you know, like just you just kind of have to just chug along. I mean, both of us having new weeks. I mean, what are the odds?
indeed. Yeah, what are the odds? Which I'm not surprised
Hmm.
of, because we have been in these kind of situations before with other
Yeah.
things,
Yep.
almost been watching the same thing or playing the same thing in a way, and start to talk about it on the podcast. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm not surprised.
We're strangely in sync all the time.
Yeah, in one way or another, I would say.
Yep, definitely,
So that's pretty
definitely.
cool.
Um, speaking of one way or another, we need to move on. And
Yeah,
I guess I'm gonna start talking about start talking about gaming, and I think we should start talking about the game that you've been playing this week. I was supposed to get footage for it because you didn't have any footage, but again, like no time.
No,
So
exactly. There we are. I haven't streamed it yet. That's
yeah.
the thing. It was very recently released on Steam also. I got this notification, that it was
Hmm.
released. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known.
Hmm.
The game, as you say, when it comes to the title, is a free-to-play extraction shooter called
Hmm.
Arena Breakout Infinite. Now,
Hmm.
this has been out for some time because
Hmm.
it still has a standalone launcher,
Hmm.
and there's been quite a few people playing it before the release now on September 16.
Hmm.
Uh, However, for me, I've known about this game, but
Hmm.
since I'm not per se an extraction shooter guy, even though I once in a while, sorry, do play these kind of games as well. But I have been starting to check it out. I did it before I got into what I just described, so I have a clue. I have a clue. This is though gonna be my first impression, so bear that in mind when I'm talking about the game. I don't have like a ton of hours. That has to be said. But again, this is if I'm gonna try to how do you say compress this. I would say it's like a Tarkov light, meaning that it's quite a bit like Tarkov, but more accessible,
Hmm.
even for people that haven't played these style of extraction shooters that much, and that in a way is a plus. On the other hand, I see some guys, even though it has mostly or very positive reviews on Steam already, it has to be said that some people that had a lot of hours in the game and have been following the development of the game think that it has lost a bit of its identity, the core identity of being more tactical hardcore, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I can't really. I have nothing to compare with, right? Because I just got into the game now when it got released on Steam, so I can't really say. But this is something I've read.
Hmm.
But what about the gameplay? Well, the game looks okay. It plays pretty well. I think it sometimes might have a bit of desync or something when I was shooting. There's something going on. I can't really put my finger on it, and hopefully that is something they can improve along the way. Um, as you know, extraction shooters, you go into the map. Doesn't matter whether you play solo or you play with friends,
Hmm.
and you loot. You need to, you know, pick up stuff. Maybe you find a weapon that you want to use, or most of the time is trying to find things that are valuable that you can trade or sell later on. So you get more in currency game money, if that makes sense. So you can buy maybe a scope for your gun, or I would say ammo. This is typical one of those games where you can buy higher tier ammo. The red
Hmm.
ammo is the best, and I think some guys also have said like there's a bit of unbalance here because the
You
red
could
ammo is
buy
so good that it's like, yeah.
buy the win.
They had a monetization model. uh that's actually the first thing that I heard when I didn't even know about this game,
Hmm.
that it was pay to win.
Hmm.
And they have been changing this. They have been doing quite a lot of changes and improvements regarding the game, Arena Breakout Infinite. Uh, and I've been reading a bit about it. So it should be more fair game, fair play now,
Hmm.
if I've understood it right.
Hmm.
But even so, the problem is, even though, as I said, it's quite accessible of a game getting
Hmm.
into also as a newcomer,
Hmm.
I can these kind of shooters tend to be even so one of those games that if you play it like 2 hours, 5 days a week, and the difference doing that from playing it 2 hours once a week, it's gonna be a significant
Hmm.
thing of a difference, because of course it goes without saying that, well, he knows the game better, of course, because he spent time and la di da. In a way, he should be rewarded for that. But at the same time, it becomes a bit of a difference also regarding gear and what you have, the money you have saved in order to buy better stuff, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. So in a way, it becomes, I shouldn't say this too loud. Again, this is my first impressions, but I can imagine it puts you almost in a bit of a almost like a play to win situation, if that makes sense. So um, if that's the case, that it's a bit unfortunate because it's going to make it harder also, or it will difference the difference between casual players and more hardcore players is becomes more. It's like a thick wall
Yeah.
between those two categories of players. I'm not
Is
sure if
it
that's a good thing for the long run.
do you
Yeah.
think that that casuals can compete with non-casuals in this, or do you think it's just no chance if you're casual?
Uh, of course, it depends on, as we've said many times before, your own experiences and how good you are at shooter games. I mean, it comes down to that, but not really only. As mentioned, you will be able to get those better armors, ammo, weapons. If you play more, that's just hard facts. So I would say that can be hard, and I guess it's also why they have separated. I've only been playing something called normal right now, and that's up to rank 12. After rank 12, you can get into a more competitive environment regarding the extraction shooter part. And I think that's a pity because this has to be said. There's both PvP and PvE elements in the game. Also, this game has bots. And to be honest, it's quite a lot of them, and I don't like that. And the fact that they also look like players
Mm-hmm.
many times is I think they should separate the players and the actual bots, doing something that makes a difference, like design wise.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, when I've been playing, I've had some nice matches. I've been I've been extracting. I have some good games and whatnot with some randoms, also by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And but the problem is that when it's so many bots, it becomes boring. It's like, oh, I killed two operators, meaning real players. Yeah, great. 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes, like, okay. Um, some people really love this. They love to lurk around and crouch and check the corner and then go in and loot. And for me, I can do that for a while. But if it's so long time wait, I mean, rank 12, that's quite. It takes some time. I've
Mm-hmm.
spent some hours, and I probably can progress even more if I did loot even more. But I'm like only 4 or 5, and I'm already like, oh, checking my time. Oh, maybe I should play something else. So yeah, so I think they should make it half or something, because they say, oh, that game or the other one is more for experienced players. Yeah, sure, but most people nowadays, because the bar is set higher now. There's players nowadays are usually better already from the start, and
Mm-hmm.
extraction shooters have been around for quite some time. I mean, quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually another one that I played an earlier playtest called Exoborn that once at the same time now
Mm-hmm.
has its second or whatever second third playtest that I haven't even been able to get into because yeah, time. Well, I've been making music.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but with that said, it's a popular genre. I've mentioned this before. A few years ago, it was Battle Royale all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Now it's extraction shooters. If we're talking about the FPS or shooter community,
Mm-hmm.
and people or developers are following that trend.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, who is this game for. I would say it can definitely be like people that just want to check out a new game because they like shooter games for
Mm-hmm.
sure. I do wonder though if they are willing to spend all that time and grind like that, and for a long time also pew-pewing these bots just to get into matches with more real players,
Yeah.
if that's how it works, because that's the impression I've got.
Mm-hmm. But
That's the
obviously
impression I got.
that's not that you're not sure. So
Yeah.
but again, from when I've only recently like today when you sent me the link, really looked into the game a bit on the train coming home. It seems to be getting good press right now from the brief time I spent looking into it. So I guess there's a market for there, people who are keen on it. It seems to
Oh
be doing
yes.
okay on Steam. I mean, it's free to play, so that you've got a lot of people
Exactly.
that
It's free
will.
to play. It's important to say.
Yes, very
So I mean,
important in this day and
yeah.
age. Um, System requirements not really that high per se. Very
Mm.
reasonable minimum requirements. You're looking at Radeon RX 5500 as your baseline GPU with Ryzen RX 1400. Again, pretty Ryzen 5 1400 is pretty much low ball. And you have on the recommended Ryzen 5 3600X and GPU being Radeon 6600 RX 6600, which again very reasonable GPU and CPU
Yeah.
kind of combo. Obviously on the AMD and Intel side it's going to be similar, so you
Mm.
guys can check the page for that information. But generally specs wise, this is not really the most demanding game. I wouldn't say it's the least demanding. I'm sure the specs aren't a
No, it's a
potato,
bit
for example,
a bit up from potato and
a
so on.
little bit up from potato, especially but at the same time, it isn't the most demanding either. So I think
No.
being free to play, not the most demanding. The game is 16 plus for age, Peggy 16.
Mm.
So a bit on the older crowd. I guess this is what this is for, with
Yeah.
a lot of
The
language
co-
supports.
yeah,
Um.
the question though, bro, is sorry for it, because my thought is, of course,
Mhm.
when will it be released, and if so, how will it be, received,
Mhm.
especially considering that soon Arc Raiders will be released, which is a very anticipated title
Mhm.
by Embark, when it comes to being also a looter shooter.
Wait, is
But
this not considered released? Is it? It says full.
yeah, but I'm talking about Arc Raid. This is released now, Arena Breakout
Yeah, yeah.
Infinite.
Because it says the full release
Sorry,
is live now on Steam. I think
I don't know what I
I
said.
think with it competing with Ark and all that kind of other stuff. I think that's kind of it's kind
Yeah.
of the what I'm looking for. It is the
Mhm.
price of doing business in this space, nowadays. I mean, you just got a lot of competition. Look, eFootball, as in what I've been playing, just released their latest update not too long ago. FC comes out, I believe today, and then UFL
Mm,
dropped an update on the 11th. It's good, I think, to just have options for people. I mean, me personally,
absolutely.
similar to what you said with regards to the fact that you're playing the game and you're checking the time, you're like, maybe not for me. Maybe I want to play something else. I think the same way. Yeah, I was playing UFL the other day, and I was like, oh, awful. I want to go back and play
Oh,
some E.
oh, really?
So
Mm,
yeah, I wasn't really happy with the way the game felt, the mechanics. It was too easy to um like the goalkeepers didn't seem like they were working. I mean, granted, I was playing against bots,
yeah,
but
yeah. There you go. Yeah, yeah.
it was it didn't feel fun playing it. It didn't feel like I was really in control. It felt like everything was just sort of like on
Mm,
rails or a bit slidey, a bit sort of and that was despite the fact that there were things I enjoyed about it, but it just felt like there was no what I'm looking for. It felt like I couldn't get next to the ball if I wanted to because of the fact that it was so easy to just play around players. Like attacking was way more powerful than defending in the game, is what I found. Taking a shot from range, the goalkeeper saved nothing. As long as you put enough power in, get the right angle, boom, it was in. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. These they're competing for the same players, football fans, and so, it's good if they have differences between them, and some
yeah, yeah.
people would prefer one over the other, and I think it's the same for this. I think, Arena Breakout Infinite is gonna have its bunch, and when Arc comes out, it's gonna have its bunch, and so forth. And I think that's good. More competition helps because at the end of the day, the more they're competing with each other, the more incentive they have to make a better product for us. At the end of the day, as the gamers. So
Sure.
I'm happy for it. Um, Gaming wise, what have I been playing? I
Yeah.
have, as I say, eFootball. I've played for, I think Trinidad and Tobago has been competing in the FIFA E World Cup. I have not had an opportunity to play a match as of yet. The team picked two other players to play. I believe it's six of us on the team, and two of the other guys played. Granted, I kind of understand why. I have not really been reachable over the past couple. I mean, I'd say part them, part me. Their means of communication is not mine, so they've been communicating in a way that's just not really feasible for me. You
Mm.
know that and at the same time for me, I've just been really knackered after week, so I've come in and just gone straight to bed. So some of
Yeah.
the guys have been messaging me and asking me, "Hey, can you come on?" And I'm like, "I'm asleep," you know.
Yeah.
So I understand why they would have gone with the team that they went with. And so far they've won the first few matches. My understanding is that the next phase I'll be able to play in those. Hopefully by then as well, I would have stabilized myself with work and life and everything. Would have had a routine worked around it, so I can easily pivot and do what I need to do with that. But generally, yeah, that's been the game for the week. With regards to Tele, I've continued watching what's that, Rent a Girlfriend. I've continued watching that. I've
Ah,
caught up to
nice.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm all caught up, and yeah, I've been mostly just reading now that I've caught up to Rent a Girlfriend. So I've been reading manga and webtoons and
Mm.
just catching up on my reads. For those who who read One Piece, that latest chapter, I think I posted about it in Discord, in a few Discord groups that I happen to be in, Discord channels, about the fact that Garp is trash to me. For those who understand the reference of what I'm talking about, yeah, he is like the guy. I can't go into details because obviously One Piece is just huge spoilers, but I think anyone who's read the latest chapter, I think
Hmm.
if you can still be a Garp fan after seeing, um, after seeing what happens in that chapter, and like to me, I can't, I can't, and I like the character for a long time, but at this point, it's just sort of like, he irritates me, because he
Oh,
has
one of
so much
those. Yeah.
potential to do um because in One Piece it's not it's One Piece is not black and white, it's gray,
Mm.
there's a lot of gray areas, but man, when you when you consider someone like One Piece is mostly gray, but then when it's not gray, it's really bad sometimes, and there's some really bad, and you're just like, how is he a part of even just by association a part of that level of really bad, you know
Mm.
um and so as a fan of the character, it's really hard to, or a former fan of the character, I don't like him anymore, I find he's trash, but I found it really really difficult to appreciate Garp after that last chapter. I think a lot of characters have gone up in stock for me. A lot of characters I didn't think I would like as much, I've liked a whole lot more. But Garp has really gone down in stock for me. He's a character that I at this point despise because of all the potential he has to do good, and the choices that he's made and how he's going about it. And man, it's not like he's a bad, and again, this is where I say, like, with One Piece, it's gray. It's gray. He's not, because Garp is not what I would consider to be a bad guy. But
Right.
there's the things that it's like it's I guess the best way to put it is like, imagine if you had a friend, right, who was a pedo, right?
Mm.
And then you knew that friend was a pedo, or let's say you didn't know at first, and then you found out that friend was a pedo, but then you still defended the friend. That's the level I'm talking about. It's like, what is wrong with him? But then at the same time, you're not a pedo, and you do good things to people and help people, and you can, and so forth. It's like, how can I? It's like, you're not a bad person in the sense that you're not doing bad things, but you then protect the pedo. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, it's like being an accomplice in a crime.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I understand. I do think I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that's the kind of stuff that I'm battling with, as a One Piece fan reading the story. And again, like, real life mirror, like, One Piece mirrors life, real life. The author writes about stuff that he writes about real life. Like, he takes real life and mirrors it into fiction. I think the best fiction that exists mirrors real life to some extent or the other. At least some of the best ones do. So and I think the way in which Ichiro Oda, the author of One Piece, does it, he does it really well. He does it
Okay.
because he writes in such a way that makes you emotional. You know, there's like there's some movies you watch where you could where you tear up. You know, like
Right,
the
right.
anime I was watching, Rent a Girlfriend. There's a scene that happens in the anime that I won't spoil in one of the latter seasons where I was in tears. The music came in perfectly, and you as a musician know how that can invoke certain emotions and feelings in
Yes, yes,
someone.
yes.
So the music just really pulling your heartstrings and what was going on and everything, to the point where I was tearing up while watching the scene. You know, there's a scene going on, I'm just like, I'm wiping tears away because it's like, oh my god, it's so emotional. And in the same way, I think when you have a really good book, there are a few books and stories and manga I've read in my life that have made me emotional. You know, most recently, I think the ones I would say, Solo Leveling has made me emotional, but not in a sad way, but more in like an excited, happy, jubilant way. One Piece has made me sad on multiple occasions and angry and all this sort of stuff. One Piece brought a variety of emotion in me, because Ichiro Oda just writes in such exceptional way. Um, and yeah, you know, like there's quite a lot of others that have brought out emotion in me in other ways. Some of them I won't mention here, but I've probably mentioned in the past on the podcast. But yeah, I think more than anything else, One Piece is hitting some sort of heartstrings right now. It's on a break this week, so I get a break from my emotions. um, but
Could be needed. Yeah, yeah.
next week you got a new chapter coming, and I'm just saying, some people are saying like, wait, Garp might redeem himself, but I'm saying like that
Mm-hmm.
last chapter. I mean, that's hard to redeem yourself after that last chapter.
True.
I am very sorry. Like if for him to redeem himself for me in that next chapter, man, the things he's got to do for me to be like, yo, you know what? I'm back with Garp again. This guy's legit. So yeah,
Cool.
Rog, I'll tell you after, because I know you're not going to be reading One Piece after the podcast. I'll tell you what I'm talking about, because I'm sure you're probably wondering
Okay,
what the hell
okay.
I'm talking about. But
Yeah, yeah, a bit.
I'll keep the spoilers away from the rest of you watching the podcast. Anyway,
Good.
that's my watching. Rog, you've been watching something on Netflix, have you not?
Yeah, I have. I've been watching quite a few things recently. It's still a good thing, to sit down and relax and just watch something.
Hmm.
Some are more well known than others. This
Yeah.
is definitely one that I didn't know about. Netflix movie was released this year, 2025. It's a French movie,
Hmm.
and that caught my attention. I wanted to watch a French movie, and it's an action adventure drama movie called KO,
Hmm.
like knockout. Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's an interesting plot because it starts off with this big guy. He's really cool. I like his character. But he accidentally kills his rival in an
Oh.
MMA bout. He's professional MMA fighter, and he gets very devastated, of course, especially also since if there's a widow and a son being left behind due to the man that he accidentally killed, and there's things happening. He tries to find a new life, and all of a sudden he gets contacted by the widow. She's really desperate. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 years that has passed or more, I don't know, but the bottom line is she's asking him to maybe do a favor due to the situation, and that is to find her son. He's
Oh.
gone missing, and it's bad things behind the missing.
Hmm.
It takes him to Marseille and the crime scene areas of Marseille and the gang areas of Marseille, and he gets into conflicts with these gangs, and it's a lot of action. It's good action, good fights, definitely worth watching just for the action. He's playing a character. His name is Bastien in
Hmm.
the movie. Cyril Gann, I think that's how you pronounce it. And there's a police, tough police woman that he kind of, he gets to know her because yeah, I'm not going to spoil how and what happens,
Is there
but they
romantics?
uh, could be, yes, could be interesting moment, at least I would say.
Okay,
Yes, it is.
okay.
Okay, spoiler. But anyway, they sort of team up in a way. There are things happen, and it's, as said, I think this was worth watching. It
Mhm,
doesn't have like a high score on IMDb. It's only a 5.8, which
mhm,
surprises me a bit. For me, this is over 6. It's
mhm,
definitely more towards 6.4, 6.5,
mhm.
which means that it's better, like it's over average, I would say.
Yeah.
Because if 10 is a like full plot, like a score, full score that is,
Mm,
then I would say 6.5 is it's pretty decent.
mm.
So yeah, if you want to, and the good thing, this is also one of those shorter movies. It's not like 2 hours 20 minutes. This one is 1 hour 26 minutes. So
Not
one and a
bad.
half hour, perfect.
That's perfect. That
Yeah,
sounds pretty good. I mean, when I saw it from
I think
after I
you
saw
would like
your
it
show
actually.
notes, I saw the rating. I was like, oh, it's probably gonna be not that good. But hearing you say it's a 6 point, at least a 6 point something for you, I think
Mm.
it could be a good watch. Did you
Mm.
watch it with French audio, or did you watch it with English or something?
I watched with French
Oh,
and
okay.
subtitles.
In natural
Yeah.
way. Oui, oui, monsieur.
Yeah. But you know how that is.
Yeah.
It brings another flavor to it. It's
Yes.
another, yeah, it's another feel, I would say.
There's an
So
authenticity.
I usually tend to do that. If I watch Korean, like South Korean
Hmm.
movies, I have South Korean and I have subtitles.
Hmm.
I think I do that for most films. Also, if it's like an anime or something, or if it's Japanese, I
Hmm.
have Japanese, but I have subtitles.
Hmm.
So I've done it like that. It's so long, so I can't really change that habit now.
It's part of your makeup. I
Yeah, yeah,
find
yeah.
I don't do it all the time. I think for Japanese these days I tend to, like, when it's anime I tend to do it with English dub. But when it comes to, if I'm watching like a Korean film, or if I'm watching something um like
If you're
French
watching
or
Italian movie, I guess you do the.
Italian or Polish,
Yeah.
I tend to want to
Mm,
watch it with the original voice
yeah.
and especially Polish. I prefer to watch it with
Mm.
Polish and then English subs. Because one, the way they dub Polish films, you can still hear the Polish in the background.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, yeah.
like,
I know exactly how that is. Oh,
I'm like, what's the point? I might as well just listen to the
yeah.
Polish voices. So,
What's the point?
if you guys want to know an idea of what that sounds like, I think watch The Witcher in Polish. You'll understand.
Mm. Yeah.
um, but yeah. Anyway, that's that. Whew. I think we've got to the end, Rog, haven't we?
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
We have a pretty neat podcast in our pockets, I
Kind of like the film you
believe.
watch, just nice and compact.
Yeah, exactly. It's a KO.
So, with
Yeah.
that, Rog, how about we say goodbye to the listeners and
Yeah.
we disappear
Yeah,
into
we're
the
getting out of
sunset.
here. Exactly. We're riding into the sunset, the two fearful cowboys. Um, let's do that. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I hope you're going to have a beautiful week. We gave you some tips when it comes to gaming, as always, and also a good watch or two. So, with that said, stay healthy and we talk soon again. Muffin and out.
Beautiful as always. And as always, you can find Rog at 40 Splish Splash. That's the number 40 with SPLISH, SPLASH. He streams usually, might
Yep,
change, on a Tuesday and a Sunday. That's correct.
that's right.
You can find me at LP Guardian. That's Guardian.eu pretty much everywhere else. LPGIAN. EGRDIN. I think I'm spelling it correctly. I have not posted on that on my YouTube account with that name. I have been posting on Simply eFootball though, and that is where you will find me. You can also find us at Simply Binge or at Simply Binge UK pretty much everywhere else. And as always, we wouldn't like you guys to miss on any of the episodes of That Beautiful Life podcast. Many beautiful people like you subscribe to this podcast on Castbox, Acast, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, simplybinge.com, and elsewhere. And we're so confident that you're gonna like it that we're giving it away for free. So as always, guys, this include be your pleasure. It's a wrap. I am
It's a wrap.
tired, but at the same time,
Same.
you know,
Hey,
we got to
keep
do the thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we
It
will
was
catch
fun.
you guys in the next one. Thanks again as always for those who check out the podcast and post. I know you guys, some of you guys are, you're not available at the time that we podcast, but at the same time, you do come in later and check out the episodes, and we appreciate you as well very much. So with that, as always, see you guys in the next one. Peace. I'm gonna spoil One Piece for Roger. The rest of you
Yep,
guys
yep.
go
Want to
read the
hear that?
chapters.